Mike and Bruce Johnson were good buddies. Bruce coached at High Point. Bruce was at NC State. Bob had helped him get to NC State. And Kiffin had brought a new defense, and Mike and Carolyn and Connie and Bruce no longer with us. They went off for the weekend to the beach, and they got to talking about it. And Mike comes back next day on Monday and says, "Stone, I got something I want you to look at." So we start talking about it. Well, Johnson says he'll come down, spend a couple of days. So he came down, he gave us what his version of it was. So Mike sat about 2 weeks. And we figured out how to adapt this to high school. And we were the first high school team in this state to run the shade. And Mike was such a big part of it, and Bruce Johnson was too. But when we did that, Boz never questioned us. In the entire time that I coached defense here, one time in a ball game, did he ever say anything to me. He walked by me one night. He said, "Pedro, we got to stop him." I said, "I know, boss." That's all he ever said to me. Usually on Thursdays, I'd go over there to the office. He said, "What you going to do to him this week?" He let us coach. He trusted us. And that created a bond of respect like you would not believe. He loved for us to socialize together. It was like, you're my coaching family. And he was the daddy. And we loved going with him. And it didn't make any difference. He treated you first class. You know, I don't care where you went. If college coaches were there, he introduced you to college coaches. And he made you feel like, you know, you were one of the big wigs. And he did everybody that way. That 4th year when we went undefeated, Boz did something that I don't think 3 people probably knew. But he went down to see Dr. Bradshaw, and he said, "Dr. Bradshaw, I want to do something for them because they've gone undefeated." You know, because Bradshaw told us when we came, he said, "You got 3 years to win or I got to fire you." He said, "If you don't, they're going to fire me." So we went 2-8, 3-7, and I hadn't even bought a house. And then we went 7-3 with that bunch of sophomores, a lot of you sitting out there. But then we won that 10-0. So he went to see Dr. Bradshaw. He said, "Dr. Bradshaw, is there something we can do for him?" Dr. Bradshaw said, "Yep, Bob." He said, "Can we give him a little bonus?" He said, "Nope." I was kind of shocked. He said, "Bob, I'm not going to give him a bonus. A bonus is a one-time thing." He said, "I'm going to give him a raise." But Boz talked Dr. Bradshaw into doing this. Dr. Bradshaw didn't come to practice very much, but he came to practice, stood over there with Bob, and during practice, at different times, he called me over there, he called Billy over there, and Dr. Bradshaw did the talking. Because Dr. Bradshaw didn't know a whole lot about football, but Bob had told him what to say. And Dr. Bradshaw said, "Boy, y'all done a great job with this. You know, Billy brought the wishbone, and that was the perfect thing for us at that time. And I appreciate what you've done. You've done a great job, and I'm going to give you this much raise." Now, I don't know too many people that would do that. So Boz gave up that thing of, "Hey, boys, I got you this," to give Dr. Bradshaw that feeling of what it felt like to reward us. And that did build loyalty.